This is our preview of the UFC on Fox. Johnson versus Moraga. And right off the bat, I want to tell all you keyboard cowboys to suck my dick. Yo, fuck all you motherfuckers, alright? All that Chris Weidman bullshit. Let me tell you something. If you're a real Chris Weidman fan, that's great, okay? I'm happy for you. George and I, it's not like we dislike the guy, but you know what? We went with common knowledge and common, we went with what Vegas went.
We went with the proven product.
With the proven product. You know what I'm saying?
And look, I understand what I just said, and you're going to tell me Chris Weidman was undefeated and da-da-da-da, but his pedigree leading up to that fight, still not that impressive. And just all you Chris Weidman fans, that's all I want you to understand. The rematch is supposed to happen in February.
Right.
That's the date. Mm-hmm. Anderson Silva is opening up as a 2-1 favorite.
He's still the favorite. So now that's the thing. Now that just tells you, and then you look at him getting knocked out, he obviously put himself in harm's way. That's another fucking story, another fucking saga. Yeah, but the most important thing that everybody out there needs to know, that if you're a fucking troll that climbed out from underneath your bridge and decided to talk to us on the comment board, you can just get on these brown nutsacks of mine. I don't give a fuck.
Nutsacks? How big's your scrotum?
Two. I got 2 of them motherfuckers.
That motherfucker scrotum so big, he's got 4 nuts.
Yeah, I will grow 4 nuts for these trolls, okay? Because all of a sudden, Chris Weidman's fucking following quadrupled overnight.
Man, how's Crow taste now? I'm like, dude, have you ever been wrong?
Yeah.
And then the guy answers back, he goes, you know what? I'm wrong 50% of the time. No, what?
So are we. Right. So are we. But
the shit's not easy.
It's not easy, but it was actually kind of funny. I will have to, you know how I am about the comments. I kind of laugh about the shit.
Some of them are funny.
Some of them are funny, but some people just leave dumbass shit. But you know what? At the end of the day, you just making 2 niggas get paid, so I don't give a fuck.
Wow. And I'm the niggerish one. Jesus.
Anyway, this event is free, so everybody just popped a boner. Great. Including the females, huh? It is great. Yeah.
See, that gets us back to the body issue, and you have questionable females.
Well, I don't have questions with you know that, man.
No, okay. I don't. Now I'm starting to worry.
Now, first of all, on this, there's some pretty good prelims, okay? Mac Danzig's on the prelim. He's going up against Melvin Gillard. Yves Edwards is going up against Taryn Cruikshank. I don't know what the hell that is. Ed Herman's on it. Mm-hmm. And there's another female bout, actually, on the, let me turn my shit off, man. Julie Kedzie. Yes, Julie Kedzie, who actually just fought Miesha Tate, is going to be going up against Jermaine D. Randomie. Jermaine Day Randomie.
It's one of the Jackson sisters.
I'm reading this shit on the teleprompter, huh?
It's one of the Jacksons.
It is. This does sound like a Jackson. I wonder if she could sing. Anyway, those are just the fights that are going to be on this free.
That'll be on FX. And don't worry, on Facebook. I think. Yep. Just added to the Facebook card is the Gracie guy who just fought. Too soon?
No, it's never too soon for your partner.
I'm sorry, Hodger. Yeah, Hodger's next fight will be on Facebook.
Hodger, right. Now, on the main card.
Too soon?
No, never too soon. Never too soon. Okay, on the main card, everybody, the first one is a women's bantamweight bout against Liz Carmouche and Jessica
Carmouche?
Carmouche.
Carmouchian?
Carmouche.
What'd you say?
Carmouche.
Sounds like a Star Trek
Liz
villain.
Carmouche versus Jessica Adrande. Now, I would love to tell you something about Jessica Andrade.
I'm gonna tell you something about her. She's 5'3".
Mm-hmm. She's a little sawed off, but let me tell you something. She can submit you.
Yeah, I think she's 9-3 or 9-2, and she's 5 of her wins have come by submission.
She is. She actually, George and I were having a discussion before the camera turns on. We have all these discussions before the camera turns on. It's crazy. And we were talking about how she actually would be, as fucked up, styles make fights. She'd actually be a good fight for Ronda Rousey.
And the reason we said that is because Rousey likes to take it to the ground. Well, this girl is obviously big in her jiu-jitsu because she is from Brazil and they're like born with brown belts.
Right.
But the only problem is she's 5'3".
She's 5'3".
And Rousey's a big girl, what, 5'7", 5'8"?
Yeah, Rousey's about 5'7".
It'll be interesting. Me personally, I'm assuming, Andrade is not the favorite in this fight, but I still think she's gonna win this. So I'm going for the upset in the first fight.
Yes. I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna ride George's coattails on this. I'm actually gonna pick Jessica Adrande for the upset too, because I think she's got something to bring from the show. Now,
in this next fight, Robbie Lawler has one hell of an impressive resume of guess who I've knocked out.
And maybe if you guys aren't up to current events, but Robbie Lawler is going to be fighting Bobby Voelker. Okay. Now, George and I were looking at some stuff. Do you know Robbie Lawler has 20 victories? Okay. Take a guess. Take a stab of how many guesses.
How many guesses? Take a stab at how many guesses I got to get this right.
How many guesses do you got?
I already know the answer because the motherfucker quizzed me earlier, but I'll go with my original answer. I thought 13, because 13 out of 20 fights by KO, that's pretty fucking impressive.
Lawler has 17.
That's even more impressive.
He has knocked out Matt Lindland.
So is my mother.
Yeah, I know. And probably your puppy can do that shit now. It's not a puppy anymore. Josh Koscheck, Melvin Manhoff, Scott Smith, Ninja Hua, Frank Trigg, and Joey Villasenor. That's some bad motherfuckers.
That's like well, I'm not going to say the who's who, but it seems like he's probably going to add Bobby's name to this.
Now look at this. Joey Villasenor has great knockout power. Frank Trigg had pretty decent one. Scott Smith knocked people out. Melvin Manhoff was a great stand-up. You're looking at, he's knocking out people that just slug. Mm-hmm. And this is exactly what he's going to get into with this guy, Bobby Voelker, because he's another guy that has a really impressive knockout record. He's knocked out a lot of people, most of his fights via knockout. And I tell you what, this could end up being the best fight of the night.
It'll be interesting. Yes. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's going to be the best fight of the night. I think the best fight of the night is going to be the next one.
I do too.
Which is going to be Jake Ellenberger Ellenberger.
Yeah, have a burger, fat burger.
Rory McDonald.
At a farm.
For y'all who ain't on the Twitter, Jake Ellenberger went after Rory, and it took Rory a little while to come back. But I'm just going to highlight some of it.
He's too busy parting his head. That shit, that Canadian shit.
So I'm just going to touch on some highlights from Jake Ellenberger's tweets.
Right.
St. Pierre, I stole your truck. I have the pics of you and Rory. Let's talk.
Ellenberger's going hard.
Yeah, that kind of... McDummy this is going to McDonald. Bad news, fighting me. Good news, handicap parking. Thought that was good. Mm-hmm. McDonald finally came back with one and said, for someone with such a weak jaw, you sure use it a lot to talk shit. When you're done building yourself up, I'll be there to send you back to reality. And Ellenberger being
a weak jaw, right? He just said Roy McDonald weak jaw. He just said Ellenberger had a weak jaw, right? Because you gotta kind of refresh my memory. Roy McDonald has how many losses?
Big one.
How did he lose? Wasn't it Carlos Condit?
Yeah.
Didn't he just put him to sleep?
I think so, yeah.
He put him to sleep, didn't he?
Yeah.
If I'm wrong about that, someone tell me. Tell me, Roy. I don't know, because that one loss has fucked your whole record up. I think it's because your jaw was a little weak.
Now, my favorite tweet
10 seconds left
of the whole little fiasco that's going on.
Right.
McDummy. Unless you are using a unit of time as an adjective, the word is weak, not weak. Stupid. That was my favorite. Anyway, you have to read these out of in context. Me, personally, I think Roy's going to win.
I do too.
He's not my favorite fighter. I don't like his attitude.
Right.
I don't particularly care a lot for him. I think if he wins this fight, it's either going to be time to go fight GSP, which they said is never going to happen, then get the fuck out of the weight class.
Tell that motherfucker. Someone you send him a postcard.
No, I'm seriously, I'm not going to sit there in the 170 weight class. To me, when they sit there and they say, I'm going to continue to fight, but I'm no longer going to fight for the belt. That's what Anderson said. Why are you fighting?
That, right. Well, I can see Anderson Silva saying that because he can fight at 205 and fuck people. He can have a lot of interesting fights. The fact that he's lost the belt right now, he has a 10-fight contract. Silva could go have 3 close fights now, kind of go back and forth to 205 and fight guys like he did when he fought, yeah. And not have to fight a fight that's always the championship fight. That's a lot of pressure on his ass. So I can see him saying that, but not these other motherfuckers. I'm just sorry.
I would, you know what? I would love to see Ellenberger win. And since I'm going to do that, I'm going to actually pick him to win. Hopefully he gets to Rory's chin and flattens him if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
But I honestly think Rory's the better all-around fighter. Mm-hmm. I think he's stronger than Ellenberger. Mm-hmm. But I think Ellenberger's going to lose this, and sadly, I think Roy's going to win. I think Roy's the bigger fighter too, isn't he?
Yeah, I just think Roy McDonald is one of your best welterweights out there. He's very well rounded. He is very well rounded. He's got a great part in his head, and I'm telling you what, he is. If you take what I'm just saying.
Got them good greens.
He's got that good hair, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got that good hair.
I can't relate.
He parts that shit, neither can I. So anyway.
What's the main event fight? But
it's Demetrious Johnson versus John Moraga.
I'm gonna tell you what,
I just don't know where this guy came from.
Yeah.
And he's probably obviously really good, but I'm not lying. I can't lie. And I know the guys out there who are fucking jerk off to MMA every day will be like, what do you mean you don't know who he is? What do you mean? I don't know, bitches. I don't know who he is. He's
only had 2 fights in the UFC. So
that's probably why I don't know.
He fought Ulysses Gomez.
Ulysses, like the old president.
Yeah, and Chris Carricio. Here's my only problem with this. If you go back and you look at Demetrious Johnson's fight record, And let's face it, here on the Uncut Sports Show, we're not a big fan of the UD.
Yeah.
And we're definitely not a big fan of the UD when it's a championship fight.
Right.
Because that shit has to go on an extra 10 minutes that I don't particularly feel like watching.
You sound like Kristen Slater right now. I swear to God, push your rewind buttons on YouTube right now. You sound like Kristen Slater. You sounded exactly like Kristen Slater. I was like, man, am I sitting next to Kristen Slater? I thought I was in Monsters.
What I'm getting at
True Romance
is the last time this cat finished the fight, Demetrious Johnson, the year was 2010.
Right. So it's not going to happen.
I don't want to watch 25 minutes of this motherfucker bouncing around the ring, jabbing the shit out of this motherfucker.
And you know what? And there's a flip side to that. I mean, George is right. It can get. I think a lot of people have to agree with us. When you get fights that go 5 rounds and it's a very technical fight, it's good. It shows their skill set. Right. They're great fighters. Taking nothing away from him because he's a true champion, but it is not the most entertaining fight. It is just not the most entertaining fight. And when it's 12:30 at night and you're ready to fall out, or in George's, my case, getting ready to film a show, it just fucks us up. I mean, you gotta drink tough. 18 cans of Red Bull.
And with that, I think Demetrious Johnson's going to outpoint this cat, and you're going to end up with a lopsided decision, and he's going to retain his belt. And
yes. Yeah. 45-40. That's what I say.
Wow, you're not even going to think that kid can win a round?
No. I don't think so.
You know what? I hope he does. Hope he wins 2.
Yeah. I mean, 45-40. I mean, 50-45. But yeah. So maybe he will.
I would love to see, if it's going to go 5, I hope it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
I hope it's a great fight. I hope it's something it's an upset or something like this, because I like seeing the way that the UFC is getting mixed up. I think it's getting lucky.
It would be awesome. I'd love to see upsets, because we just saw probably one of the biggest upsets in UFC history, not just but a week ago.
Yes. Now, comments below. Deuces.
Comments below.
Below, man. Below are some comments.